Hey, hey, Miranda.
So,
Guess what? Guess,
what?
guess. No, you gotta guess.
Blueberry!
I mean, that's kind of yeah. You are a blueberry.
What?
It has been a year since you and I have become friends.
It's our 1 year anniversary, bitches!
One whole year. One whole year of us talking random bullshit to each other.
Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Two introvert motherfuckers would be friends for a whole whopping year.
A year's a long time. It's too long. I, I'd say we move to vote and delete years because they are
Yes.
too long. Uh, well, it's been another one of those months where we took a bit of a hiatus again.
We're pretty
Because,
good at that.
well, doesn't help I was traveling for 2 of those weeks. So free time was very limited.
Yeah. And then on my end, the therapy, bro, like, if you guys need therapy, I'm gonna just say, like, get it 100%. It has helped me tremendously. But 3 hours, 5 days a week has completely and utterly drained me of people.
I wouldn't doubt it. Basically, you're just part-time mental hospital, I guess. Is would be
Yeah.
a weird way of saying it.
Well, I mean, we deal with a lot of dark and creepy shit. Who the fuck is mentally sane if they read and watch as much as we do?
To call me mentally sane, I think would be just dead wrong.
Bro, you're friends with me.
What does that make Randy?
You are. Bro, he's more insane than the both of us.
Just, it'd be so funny for him just to pop his head and just be like, "The fuck you say? The fuck you saying
No,
in there?"
he'd agree. He would completely agree with me. As he's just steadily eating cereal and watching football,
Oh,
paying no mind.
football. What? Now you reminded me. I'm paying attention to this game because I have stakes in this game.
Don't say Kansas City.
I'm a Vikings fan. Remember, I want Green Bay to lose.
Ugh. That's it. That's it. You and Randy can't be friends.
Oh, he's a Packers fan. Hmm.
Mm. Through and through, bro. Through and through.
Of course he is.
Okay. So we were at this family get together and I bought me some grippy socks, you know, those sock slippers that you can get from like the clothing stores or whatever. Well,
Hmm.
they had them on sale for $2 and I was like, bitch, I love me some slipper socks. Anyways, and I was squeaking it. And Randy's like, if you keep squeaking this, you're going to go back to your grippy sock vacation. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to communicate to you via grippy socks.
So what I'm hearing is what I said isn't too far off. Too much grippy sock.
No, what you said is totally not too far off at this point. He's probably like, I am so over those grippy socks.
She likes her soft things.
I do. I love fuzzy things. Like, I got fuzzy slippers. I got fuzzy house shoes. I got fuzzy robe. I got fuzzy blankets. I even got fuzzy yarn that I crochet with.
I'm surprised you didn't say fuzzy jacket.
I do have that too.
Need
And I
you
have a fuzzy mom sweater.
need you a pair of fuzzy pants.
I had a pair, and then there's this thing called a husky that ate part of my pants. So I no longer have fuzzy pants because
I wonder what husky did that.
I don't know.
Nope, that was the wrong way. It's hard to keep track of because I got the one thing here and then I look at the stream which I got on the other computer and I have to look this way to look the same way you were. It's got me all backward.
Which way? Up or down? Well, since I'm going down, I guess down. She chose down.
How did
We are helping hands. I really want to get like a backdrop that like I can like have like behind me whenever I do these shows, and then I can collapse it up when we're not doing stream shows.
Yeah, that would be cool to have, especially seeing as like this the basement that I existing in isn't finished. So above me is all like the boards and shit. So I can just hand things from that.
So my question for you though, bro, is did you get me a new game? Or
A new
no?
I don't have a new game for you, but we can do a part 2 to Metalcore or Eyesore. Anyways, here we are for part 2 of Metalcore or Eyesore, or in this case, Deathcore. The name of the genre.
Deathcore?
Deathcore. I think you should have at least 2 of these bands.
Okay.
Maybe 3 of these bands you should be able to get. You might be able to get 2 of these bands. But for just a quick reminder of what the game is, I'm going to give you 4 names. They will likely either be fake names or band names of bands that are not deathcore, but you have to figure out which one's the deathcore band. So the first set of bands: Death Maiden, Storm of Katrina, Stacy's Lament, or Chelsea Grin.
Chelsea Grin.
Bingo. It's a pretty easy one.
I didn't even have to think on that one, bros.
Okay, so that was one. You're 1 for 1. Set of bands 2 is Thy Art is War, Thy Art is Death, Thy Art is Murder, or Thy Art is Horror.
Okay, Thy Art is a band, but it's not murder. And I want to say it's Thy Art is Death.
Final answer?
Relist them again just in case.
War, Death, Murder, Horror. All Thy Art is first.
Okay, it's not horror. Okay, so it's not horror. And it's not murder, death, and war. Thy Art is War?
Final
yes.
answer?
Yes. No.
It was Murder.
Was it?
It was Murder.
Okay.
Surprised I was able to keep my poker face through that one because you said it's not Thy Art is Murder, and I immediately wanted to go.
Yeah, I was surprised you kept your poker face. You are horrible about keeping it.
Just when it came to Ice 9 Kills. Alright. So, set of bands number 3. Forget You, Forget Me Not, For the Likes of You, and For Whom the Bell Tolls.
For Whom the Bell Tolls is Metallica. I'm sorry.
Just okay. You got that.
Okay, so then that would be. Okay, tell me again.
Forget you, forget me not, for the likes of you, for whom the bell tolls. But you already nixed that one.
Forget me, forget you, forget me not.
Forget you, forget me not, for the likes of you.
Uh, bro. Um, for the likes of you.
That is it.
Yes.
I'm actually happy you got that one because for the likes of you is like my favorite, one of my favorite bands that broke up.
I have never heard of them.
I've talked about them a couple of times, but I don't think I.
I have ADHD brain, bro.
Fair enough. Also, the curveball on that one was Forget Me Not is an actual band.
Yeah, I knew Forget Me Not was that, but I know it wasn't deathcore.
All right. So
And
you're
Metallica is metal, it's not.
right. You're 2 for 3 so far. So number 4.
Yeah.
Set up. Hi, Randy.
Dylan says hi, Randy. Hi.
Anyways, set 4. In Gloom, Of Fury, The Jade King, or Behemoth.
Jade King, Behemoth. What were the other two?
In Gloom, Of Fury.
In Gloom of Fury. In Gloom of Fury. And my brain wants to just sit on Forget Me Not. Okay.
It's just like Ice Nine Kills and you being stuck on Jigsaw.
I know. Why was I so stuck on Jigsaw? I don't know why. So our viewers are gonna hate me, but I need you to repeat all of that all together, all at once, again.
In Gloom, Of Fury, The Jade King, Behemoth.
Behemoth.
Final answer?
Yes.
It was not Behemoth. Behemoth is black metal. So they were the curveball.
Oh.
In Gloom was the deathcore band.
That was gonna be my second guess too, bro. Oh, my soul.
Your soul said no. Okay, so you're 2 for 4. Half and half ain't too bad at this point. But
For me not being a death metal person, I'll take it.
I'll take it. So, group of bands number 5. Demon King, Whitechapel, Vagabond, Cancer Bats.
Why do I have a feeling that Whitechapel is the setup? That's a fucking setup, bro. Oh, but I can't remember. No, Whitechapel's not because Chelsea Grin always tours with Whitechapel. No, Whitechapel. That's the answer.
Yep. That one was all real bands.
I know, but I was like Whitechapel. As soon as you said Whitechapel, I was like, that's a death metal band. I used to listen to them relentlessly. That's a death metal. No, they're over there with Black Veil Brides. No, because they tour with Chelsea Grin.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're death metal. I got 3. I'll
You're,
take it.
you're 3 for 5. So, group of bands, number 6. We have Shadow of Intent, Inhumane, Spectres, and Of Agony.
Um, the agony.
Final answer?
Yes.
The real band in that one was Shadow of Intent. I mean, the deathcore band was Shadow of Intent. Spectres was another real band, but they're not deathcore.
Damn.
So, 3 for 6.
I'm still half. I'll take it.
Still half. Still have an opportunity to end above half. Or end directly at half, because there's 2 more. We'll see. So, number 7. The Heretic Shall Prevail, Infant Annihilator, Lone Walker, Child Destroyer.
Infant Annihilator.
Yep.
Yes!
So, you are basically guaranteed 50% at this point. Because you're 4 for 7 now.
Hear me roar, bitches!
So we have the 8th and final one. We have Sons of Zeus, Born of Osiris, Spawn of Set, and I was about to completely pronounce that wrong. Heir of Hamun.
Heir Hamun, no. Name me another one, and I'll say no or yes.
Just go through them.
Yeah.
Sons of Zeus.
Possible.
Born of Osiris.
I want to say yes, but not sure. Next one.
Spawn of Set.
No.
So you've narrowed it down to Sons of Zeus or Born of Osiris.
Osiris.
It is Born of Osiris.
I won at 75%, bitches. What's up?
5 of 8. Not bad. I think 5 of 8 is actually 62.5%, but who's counting?
Listen, nerd.
Listen, D's get degrees, okay? To segue, speaking of gods, because that whole last one was a bunch of gods, a band that I'm fairly close to, I guess, did this really cool thing recently where they made Magic the Gathering cards based off of the gods that their songs are based on or centered around.
Dude, that is freaking awesome.
Yeah, they got their own special, like, Dark Watch backs, too.
Oh, it even has, like, the Magic the Gathering, like, background with the wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. Although I kind of don't like that because if you mix it into your deck for Magic the Gathering,
yeah,
then everyone knows what's on your deck.
Yeah, because I did make a video on this, and I specifically said, because of these backs, these are not technically tournament legal, but no one goes to tournaments and plays without sleeves, because... Let's see, do I have a deck to pull out for an example?
Yeah, that I forgot about the sleeves.
Yeah, most people sleeve their decks, so most of the time you'll see cards that'll just be like this.
Yeah. Side note, ADHD brain. While we were playing that, he literally told me what album, what year, and what song. From Whom the Bell Tolls as he was walking by.
Can you name it though?
Do what?
What year? What album? From
What was it you said, babe? From Whom the Bell Tolls. Ride the Lightning, number 3,
19.
second album. What year?
Like, yeah. If he doesn't know, it's 83.
83 or 84?
It's 83.
83. So, fun fact about Nico is he was heavily into hair metal himself before he got into metal bands. Because that's what his dad was into. And his favorite band was Kiss.
Speaking
Wrong,
of Kiss,
right?
yes.
Okay.
My favorite band for the longest time was Kiss, and fun fact, their final concert was last night.
Their final concert was last night?
Mm-hmm. I put the most sarcastic air quotes around that ever because this is like their second or third final concert.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of those older bands, they'll like disappear for a little bit and then they'll be like, oh, big comeback.
Yeah, Motley Crue doing that was so dumb to me. Just like, you guys can't physically can't perform anymore, and it's very obvious, and people make fun of you guys for it. You guys already did your final tour.
The worst comeback ever was Guns N' Roses on the award show, where it had like none of the original except for Axl Rose.
Right. It's Guns N' Roses comeback. No, it's Axl Rose and a bunch of hired guns because Slash doesn't want to work with Axl anymore.
Because Axl is a dick.
Yeah. There's
What?
There's always been like this stereotype that this vocalist is always the dick diva who's very controlling of the band, and I can almost guarantee
It started with him.
I can almost guarantee you it started with him.
It started with him, bro. 110% started with that dumb person. And I say that in the nicest way I can talk about him because I don't like him. Because of him, I lost my favorite band.
Fair.
Guns N' Roses was my shit. My favorite song was November Rain. That church scene with Slash just is like the soul. My soul. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna have to listen to that later.
Yeah, that's if we decide to have Randy come on here, we gotta do just an episode centered around 90s music, basically. Just talk about the 90s music and all
90s music and Halo, and you will have him sold in football. You will have him sold in all 3 of those categories.
Gotta find out which one's his favorite.
Which one's his favorite on what part?
Halo.
Halo 3. Dear. Halo 3. 2.
I like this guy. Too bad he's a Packers fan.
Nico says he likes you, but too bad you're a Packers fan. He's a Vikings fan. He shrugged.
I guess his allegiance to football isn't that heavy.
Oh no, he was screaming F you to everyone that said that they supported Kansas City tonight.
Oh.
Like, I'm sitting here trying to do the research for Blueberry Spooky Corner, and he's just going, fuck you. Fuck you. You better not say it. Don't you fucking say it. Fuck you. And I'm like, dude.
I'm just surprised the Packers are actually winning.
Yeah, it's 19-27 right now.
Damn.
Saints had a brutal game, bro. They broke one of the side guys' legs.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. I was scrolling Instagram earlier and I saw that. I'm just like, I didn't want
Dude,
to see
that
that.
game was fucking brutal left and right. Like, it was a first time in a long time where I actually sat down and watched it. I'm kind of sad that they lost, but like it was already a given they were going to lose because their new coach sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I wish that I can't remember his name, but the one coach that was coaching them there for a little bit,
Oh,
and they were doing killer. But
yeah.
that coach ended up getting traded off to Colorado,
Denver, yeah.
I think.
He's coaching the Broncos right now, and the Broncos are looking to be in the playoffs, despite the fact that they started 0-3.
Yeah,
But yeah, Sean Payton was. He's a decent coach, I'll say that much, but my opinion of him isn't very high.
I just liked him for how he played my boys.
Yeah, you guys had the Saints had a good, decent decade under him, decade and a little more than a decade.
Yeah, he was an amazing coach, and you can still see his effects in our team now. But it's just it's not the guys, it's the direction. The guys are phenomenal, but that coach is just killing them, man.
Well, you're off. The offense hasn't been playing very great, but I can also probably say that is from the coaching, because Derek Carr is a pretty decent quarterback, but
Oh yeah.
and then you keep switching between Jameis Winston and Derek Carr because Derek Carr keeps getting hurt. So Jameis Winston keeps coming in, and Jameis Winston can sling the ball around like it's nothing, but he can't stop turning the ball over.
Right? They fumbled so fucking bad earlier. Like, they quite literally dropped the fucking ball.
Sounds like the Saints this year. Now that just the rest, we're just going to be sitting here waiting for this game to end, watching the final moments of it, reacting to it.
Right? Like,
Now I'm
it's
pulling
the
it up on
last
my
36
phone.
seconds.
I'm just going to pull it up on my phone and just like watch it now.
Well, also the other thing too is Randy and his brother Jamie have this ongoing battle of which team's better. And Kansas City is his brother's team, and he's Green Bay. And so this is like one of those, oh, come on, babes, I want you to have one up on Jamie, just because Jamie gets so competitive, and it's funny watching him get razzled. So I'm like, I like Green Bay more than I like Kansas. I do. Like, Green Bay's like my third favorite.
Only the third?
Yeah, only the third.
It's number 2 then.
Saints is number 1. It was Falcons there for a little while, and then they started fucking sucking. And then it was Rams for a little while. My second place kind of
It
teeter-totters.
The only consistent is the 1 and the 3.
Yeah. Do what?
Only consistency is the 1 and the 3.
Yeah. There for a while, Green Bay was 2, but then they started slacking. But I can't stand Kansas City anyways, because it's like everything associated with Kansas City is associated with Taylor Swift right now because she's dating that one dude and it's just fucking obnoxious. It's like nobody gives
Right.
a shit.
Anybody who 90% of the people that care about football don't give a fuck about Taylor Swift. And
It's like they're doing that just to get the girls interested in football.
you're trying not to spoil it for them, but I spoiled it for you.
They're down to the last 5 seconds right now.
Oh, you guys are significantly more behind me.
Well, you get your one up on Jamie.
Sorry. Suck it, fucking announcers.
Can we keep that part? Can we keep that part?
I'm definitely just gonna like skip in between parts there. But like, yeah, we're gonna keep that part in. Suck it,
By
fucking
the way,
announcers.
babe. By the way, babe, you made it on the podcast. He looked at me too. He goes, "I'm sorry, babe, but suck it, fucking announcers." Guess what? What?
You win, you lose, eat my butthole.
You know what? We should like every time if I actually win on our little our music games, we should make that clip that voice of "we win, eat my butthole" as like every time I win, just click that button.
I'll have it like pulled up on the side just to play it every so often.
Yep. We win, eat my butthole.
All worth it just for that.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Okay, back to our actual scheduled shit.
I'm trying to remember what it was before we started talking football. Oh yeah, they got cards. They're really cool. This one's a foil, because because they treat it like an actual booster pack. Like you're guaranteed all 5 of these cards, but there's a chance for like this one to be foil.
Nice.
So this is the one foil I got in 2 packs. But not only that, I decided that I'm going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway. So, from now until my birthday, which is the 24th of December, I'm going to be taking in people to be a part of the giveaway. And then on, I think I decided on the 30th, so that's a Saturday. Yeah, on the 30th, I'll be doing the giveaway, and person can get this pack, or I might buy them another pack so that I can keep this one. Just depends
Okay.
upon if Dark Watch still has them, because they're not gonna do this specific thing again, as far as I know. So they only have a limited stock of them. That makes more sense.
Watch the one pack you don't open though is gonna end up being ultra rare.
It's gonna be the one
and they're
pack.
never gonna know.
No one's ever gonna know, because this is gonna be the one that's never open. It's gonna be the one pack out of all of them that has all foils. All 5 cards are a foil,
Right?
and it's never opened. I mean, Jacob, one of the
And then freaking go ahead.
no, whatever you were gonna say, because mine's something different. So
Watch Magic the Gathering will be like, we know we made one deck like all foils. Where is it? Nobody's found it.
no one's found it, and it's
And
sitting-
meanwhile, sitting in nowhere, Minnesota, in somebody's basement.
It's just me. the the one guy who considers themselves the biggest Dark Watch fan is just like, I'm never opening this. I don't care what's inside it.
Now the urge to open is like,
It kind of is, but at the same time, I'm just like, I like I like this untouched pack. I like the way it looks, because it looks like an official Magic the Gathering pack. Like, there are some key differences, like the back is a little weird. It's got this weird split in it. It's a little thicker than a Magic the Gathering pack, a lot more stiff, but it's almost real.
almost.
But back to what I was going to say was, Jacob, who's one of the founding members of the band, posted on his story like, I've seen basically the multiple foils of every card except for one of them. He hasn't even seen one foil of that one card yet. Of all the people like sharing on their stories of them opening these packs and stuff like that. None of the people that have shared that stuff with him have pulled. I'm trying to remember which god it was. I've yet to see a foil of this one. And I fucking dropped it. But Thanatos the Void Vulture, they've yet to see a foil of this one.
Oh, Jesus. I bet he's just like itching for it too.
Maybe he's just got the foil version of all of them, just like, yeah, I got one version of each card, a foil and a non-foil one, because I'm the one that I'm the one that owns the product, so. But yeah, this is super cool thing. Super cool. Makes me nerd out over my metal, because I get to mix it with my nerd stuffs and my metals.
The metals of the metals. Oh, the latest song that I've been really listening to is No Way Out, The World Alive.
Ooh, that's a good band.
And then Someone Like You, Ice Nine Kills. That song has been hitting hard for me.
That's an old song, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was before they
I'm
became the
not
horror
sure.
band.
It's on the Predator album,
Oh yeah, so then
and it's from 2013.
yeah, that's an old song. 'Cause they started doing
Yeah.
the horror stuff back in trying to find it, 2018. Yeah, they started doing the horror stuff back in 2018. So that's an old song.
And then another band that I've been superly into is Our Last Night.
I think I've heard of them before.
My favorite song I've been listening to is Sunrise. And then one that I've really, really gotten into is Ocean Sleeper. Like, as soon as one of their songs come across, I've been saving it.
Ooh.
I'm actually quite shocked with how well they sound. But then again, I've always, like, beat to my own drum. I typically don't get into what's in the moment. I tend to get into it, like, a little late.
Yeah, like
I'm not.
Ice Nine Kills had already had their Silver Scream album out for like a year and a half when I discovered them. And it's always going to be this running thing of how we missed out on going to see them at a concert that was only $6 per ticket.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but it was on a Monday. I was off at college, people had work, and it was just like, fuck. Why couldn't this have been on a Saturday or a Sunday?
Right?
Can you imagine going to see a band as big as Ice Nine Kills for $6? Like, going back way back in the day and seeing Disturbed live for $6.
Yeah, that outline and color before they made it big. I went and watched them for free when they came to Grand Junction.
Damn.
Yeah. Now I'm looking back going, fuck yeah.
Technically, it wasn't free because my brother had a second ticket for what festival was it? It was Northern Invasion, and getting to see Avatar before they became big, and then seeing how popular Avatar is now, is like, damn, really happy for those guys.
Well, it goes back to not giving up. So like, yes, are we a small time streamer? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you sit here and you watch these guys, everybody had to start off learning how to walk and learning to get like into this type of stuff, and you got to start from nowhere, and it's that repetition of never giving up on that dream is what ends up making you bigger and more known. Not just, you can't just have this is my style and then put nothing into it.
Right.
You have to consecutively show up. And that's what those guys did, and they 100%, like Ginger, okay, small time band. Now she's getting known, and she fully fucking deserves it. But she deserves it not only because she has her own talent, but she continues to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people don't get with these bands. You got to show up, and that's what these guys did. Amity Affliction, no town, no name, nothing, and then just because they kept showing up, same thing. Same with Breaking Benjamin, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, like any band that gets big, a lot of them, it wasn't like some bands there is that immediately blow up. Like there's something that gets them to go viral or something like that. Like I think a big part of why Disturbed got so popular as fast as they did was, the Sickness album.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to forget ooh wah ah ah, right? It's completely blew you over. You stop trying to do it. Oh wah ah ah.
But yeah, no, like, I don't know, it makes me so happy seeing these guys like move up.
Do we want to move into the dungeon, or do we want to move to the creepy corner?
What do we feel like tonight? Pinecone.
Let's do some creepy shit.
You want to do some creepy shit? Alright. Well, I got some creepy shit for you, bruh. So, quick disclaimer. We are going to attach the link in the description for this because there is a lot more information, but we feel as if some of the information is a bit too
It crosses a little bit of a line. So
it's too descriptive of the situation for some of our viewers. But we will include that, so if you want to go ahead, dive in yourself, go right ahead. But I did outline the situation with this, and as always, viewers discretion. And click now. Okay. Anyways.
Click now.
All right. So today in the spooky corner is the Axe Murder House, or the Murder Axe House. Sorry. Um. So this is a crime slash paranormal episode of Spooky Corner. Um. I did not even touch the tip of the iceberg with the hours of research that I have done with this. Um, so the Moore family and the Steelingers daughters, there's two daughters, and then they had four children, and then the married couple. They went to a church function, then walked home, getting home around like 10 p.m. ish. The neighbor Mary had gotten up and she started doing her thing, and basically by about like 7 she's like, man, this house looks weird. It's still quiet. They ain't doing their chores. Well, maybe they slept in. Let me go and knock and see everything's okay. Nothing. So she goes to the back, she feeds the chickens, and then she calls uh Joseph Moore's brother, Ross. Ross comes over and he's like knocking on the windows, he's looking in the windows, he's seeing nothing, getting nothing back. So then what he ends up doing is he finds the key for the house, fibble fobbles with it for a second, finally finds that key, unlocks the door, goes into the front room and off to the bedroom. Right there off of the front room, opens the door, closes the door, and comes back out and tells Miss Mary to call the sheriff. So what he had ended up finding is the stealing girls were um, axed in the bedroom while they were sleeping. The sheriff shows up, and of course, because it's a small town, the word travels fast. And before they know it, there was over 100 people in this house who were not law enforcement, and they had overpowered the law enforcement. So they end up having to call in the National Guard. National Guard comes in. It gets the scene all situated. The rest of the Moore family was deceased upstairs in their beds, axed to death. It's suspected that it happened shortly after midnight, but both parents and all six children were found dead. The children's ages ranged from 12 to 5 years old. And the authorities, they did everything. I mean, they called the bloodhounds, the neighboring counties and states, even tried to assist with the investigation, but there was no such luck. There was too many loose ends to actually find something solid and concrete. They had three main ones, but there was others that were suspected, but these were the three main ones that stood out through all of my research. There was belief of a guy named Kelly, a traveling preacher who was at one time charged with murder within the Moreau family, but due to the way his case was handled, made a mockery to the law enforcement, so it was dropped. But him leaving in the morning hours of June 10th made him look suspicious. Then you had Mansonfield, a man hired by Frank Jones to execute the murder, was also believed to be a cocaine fiend and a serial murderer because apparently, like, a couple years after this, he got charged of the murder of his wife, his child, his mother-in-law, and father-in-law as well.
Cocaine's a hell of a
Yeah.
drug.
And it was all like exactly the same way. But he got away with it and didn't get charged due to the fact that his alibi put him in Illinois at the time of the murders. And this murder is all the way in Villisca, Iowa, was where all of this was placed. So he pretty much, that's in dead center of Iowa. There's no way he could have done it. It's at least a 4-hour drive.
Right.
Um,
Just too far away.
so yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But the preacher dude, he was there at the function of church when they were walking home. He went to that same festivities as the family. But no, the preacher was at the festivities the night before the family was murdered. And then you have Frank Jones was either A, the dude that hired somebody else to commit the murder, or actually was the murderer. Based on everything I found out, he has the best motive, in my opinion. And all opinion, no facts here. Well, these are facts, but it's my opinion. Basically, Josiah worked under him till opening his own business in 1908. Frank was also the senator, and he was upset with the fact that Josiah split ways and managed to take lucrative information about John Deere franchise with him. And rumor also was that Josiah was having an affair with Frank's daughter-in-law, which ended up, that was enough motive for everyone to believe either Frank did it or he hired someone.
Right.
In which a lot of people were suspecting that Frank Jones actually hired Mansfield to do so, which would be the cocaine addict. Do what?
The cocaine's why he was able to move so fast.
Right. Then there's other suspects that were involved, but as small towns go, everyone has an opinion, and there was no solid yes or no has even been found, even 100 years after this. And pretty much everybody's already dead.
Right.
Whoever killed him went to their grave with it. Man, that's just so freaking scary to think. Like, you come home from church, you have, you know, your daughter's friends with you, they're staying the night, and then you just get axed to death. Like, what? What?
He just wanted to ask them a question.
Bruh.
Clearly, they didn't have an answer.
Apparently not. Well, the funny part about all of this is there was a piece of bacon they found in the freezer box and also by the axe.
You know, he just got a bacon-powered
Apparently
ex
he got
murderer.
hungry.
Right.
He got hungry. Listen, man. Murdering is a lot of work.
Listen, I know that I just killed your kids, but you wouldn't happen to have any fresh bacon, would you? Oh, you do? Okay.
Dude.
You lay right there. I'll be right back.
That's, oh god, dude. But yeah, that's just crazy. And honestly, due to the murders, it quite literally like destroyed the fabric of society to the point where it like destroyed friendships. Because other people would suspect somebody else, and you got like divided up. And the thing of it is it still divides this town today, all because of this horrific murder. And honestly, ever since then, that house had 7 different owners. The Lynns began renovation in 1994, and I really hope I pronounce their names right. I hope that I pronounce all the names right, but we're human. The Lynns began renovation in 1994 to bring back the state of the house to the original 1912 condition, which would have been the same setup as the original house. But get this. So they've had numerous paranormal investigations where they have captured events on audio, video, and photographic. And they've also had psychics come in and do investigations of themselves, and they're like, oh, I know who the murderer is, but because there's no way to definitively prove the accusations, it's just hearsay.
Well,
And
the worst
go
part
ahead.
about that is it's 100% because all those people were in the house before they got the bloodhounds and everything in there. Like,
Yeah.
they completely fucked that investigation.
Oh
Just,
yeah. This whole entire investigation was the worst investigation of all time. Like, it was messy, it was botched, and like the axe was even like kind of cleaned up, and like everybody had like some kind of cloth over their face afterwards, which tells me, honestly, my personal opinion, he knew the family. It wasn't some stranger. Why would you cover up anybody's faces
right.
unless you knew them?
Right.
That shows emotional attachment.
Yep. Had to cover up their face to be like, I can't look at this as I do this, or I can't look at what I've done. But
While I
also,
eat the piece of bacon.
well, they knew where the bacon was. They knew how to operate everything in the house. But also, like, consider
That's the
that
other thing.
the neighbors didn't. I don't know. You said it's a small town. I just don't know how close the neighbors are. Because if neighbors were fairly close, like, no one heard
It
anything.
never stated. It never stated. And the thing of it is all except for one victim showed no signs of defense. Like, they were asleep, all except for one victim, and it was the last victim.
Hmm.
Um, so this family literally got murdered in their sleep. And for that last victim, I will not be disclosing anything else
Yeah.
due to the nature and it being underage.
Yeah.
But again, click on the description, you'll have the link.
Yep.
But it was actually horrific. Like, really, really horrific murder. Um Apparently their skulls were fractured in the midst of it all. Um
I wouldn't
it
doubt
was pretty brutal.
having an. I'm assuming what would have been a steel axe being lodged in your head. Wouldn't that would deal some damage.
And the other thing that leads me to think that it was this Frank guy was because, like, the faces were covered, which psychologically, in psychological murder mindset, that means you know the person. And then the other reason why I think it's this Frank guy is because the motive. He has way more than enough motive. I don't think he hired somebody. I think he did it himself
Right.
because he knew exactly where the axe was. It was locked from the inside.
Which also would have to mean they knew where key was. The key was.
They attempted to clean off the axe and ended up just leaving the rag there. Like, all of that to me points to knowing this family. So either A, it was the brother, which with his reaction, it would not be the brother, or it would be, you know, Frank. But the creepiest part about all of this is the fact that while they are on tours during broad daylight, and at night. They'll be in the middle of tours and they will have to stop because children are either laughing or you hear children's voices. They've had falling lamps, moving ladders, and flying objects. Right now, they're closed temporarily. I didn't see anything of how long, but they do daytime tours for history buffs, and they do nighttime tours for paranormal. But they limit it to 10 people because the house is just 1912 small.
It's a bit of a modest house.
Yeah, which also leads to another thing is so originally this town was like it was like a depot for like the trains to like stop. They'd have dozens of trains coming in and out all the time. Also, it was the first town in Iowa to be publicly funded armory. And so this town had a lot of accomplishments. Villisca was a name for pretty place or pleasant view. Due to this axe murder, they're wondering if they misunderstood the natives for Wilska, which means evil spirit.
Hmm. I mean, that totally could be.
Um, this one actually kind of broke my heart to like write out because this is bumfuck nowhere. And
You
this
live in.
family gets axed
Yeah.
alive, and it's 100 years later, and we have no evidence. And not just that, but like, even though they had all the help that any case has practically ever had from anything that I've seen in my amount of researches, and yet because it was such a botched investigation and because they didn't have all the things we have today, this murderer got away scot free. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. All he had, all they had was whatever weighed on their conscience. That's whatever penance they got in life.
Me personally, if it was Frank, why bring the kids into this?
Right.
Why not just kill the dude that's fucking up with you? Why'd you have to bring in a kid?
I mean, you say that, but now that I think about it, if Frank was involved in it and if it was him that actually hired someone else, that could be part of his shock in it and why he wasn't connected to it at all was because he was just like, yeah, go kill the adults or whatever, and then what ends up happening to the kids happens to the kids, and it's just like, this isn't what I wanted. I'm in shock, but I guess because of how much shock I'm in, I'm not going to be assumed to be involved. Or I'm not going to actually get prosecuted for it.
This whole thing is wrong on so many levels, bro.
Yeah.
Very rarely, very, very rarely do you come across a case like this. And I think, like, honestly, I have thought about going and spending a night there. I was actually talking to Randy about it just because I kind of want to know more. I know there's a lot you won't see just on paperwork.
Right.
Because also, you got to think about it, it's been 100 years.
Yeah, 112 years practically at this point.
I will give the author of the page credit. He wrote it in a story format. I didn't see the author on there, but does not mean that he's not listed somewhere else that I'm not looking at.
Well,
No.
we'll be linking the website, so
Yeah,
they'll be
we'll
able to
be
find it that
linking the
way.
website.
And if either one of us finds it, we can also just put either the name right above our heads or something like that in the video.
Yeah. Yeah, because this dude, he or she did a phenomenal job of writing. And they also went through all of the investigations. And I mean, there's hundreds of hours of investigations. And they went through all of it and the court documentations and everything to
That's
piece together somewhat of this. And then the way they execute, like explaining all of this, it is honestly a very good read. As heartbreaking as it is, it's a very, very good read.
props to them. And I can remember, did you say that they did like, I know you said they did night tours, but did they do an overnight thing or is it just tour?
It's an overnight thing, so it's from 4:30 in the afternoon till 9:30 in the morning.
Okay, so
They ask you to bring a pillow and a sleeping bag just because, you don't want to mess with like the furnitures and stuff like that.
right.
Um and I believe it said that it's 400. Overnights at the Vilska house typically begin at 4 p.m. After a walkthrough tour of the house and grounds, we will simply turn over the key and head on home. You will be asked to leave the key in a predetermined place when you leave no later than 9:30 a.m. Overnight tours are by reservation only, and we suggest that you limit your group to 10 or less. Yeah, so it's $428, which allows 1 to 6 guests. Each additional guest up to 10 is $75 extra.
Hmm. So it's not per person, it's just per group, basically.
Yeah, it's per group. And then what brought me to this page was there was a dude on the news. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick.
But this definitely sounds like one of the places we could do for the Randa goes on a spooky tour type
Oh, absolutely.
thing. Because I know there were a couple places that you talked about near where you live. Talked about the haunted boat in Duluth, which since we had that conversation, I've gotten like several ads for haunted places in Duluth. It's so weird. It's just like out of the blue there's like three different touristy things for haunts in Duluth and I'm just like, since when was Duluth so fucking haunted?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to save up money to get a camera for that because we got the holidays and all of that. So
Right.
it's going to probably be about January, February that I'll get the camera. Real quick, let me go back to this. I found it. Villisca, Iowa, paranormal encounters fascinated Americans. In fact, some tourists will actually pay money to visit or stay in a haunted houses. But beware, it's not all fun and games. One ghostly adventure took a turn for the worse for one Wisconsin resident. According to authorities, 37-year-old Robert Stephen Larson Jr. stabbed himself while venturing inside of the Villisca Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa. The Montgomery County Sheriff Joe Sampson told Vice News that Larson arrived to the house with a group of friends to do a recreational paranormal investigation. Sampson said that he believed that Larson was alone in the house at the time of the incident and called his friends for help when the stabbing occurred. When they arrived, they found Larson stabbed in the chest. He an apparent self inflicted wound. He was flown from a local hospital to Creighton University Medical Care in Omaha, Iowa. Since the incident, Larson has recovered from his injuries, Sampson said. Villisca Axe Murder House is infamously known for the 1912 murders of eight people, including 6 children and 2 adults. According to the official Villisca Axe Murder House website, on June 10th, 1912, Josiah Moore and his entire family were murdered, including 2 of the children's friends who were invited to spend the night. The murders happened at 12:45 a.m., which is oddly specific because on the website it says shortly after 12 a.m.
Hmm.
Which happens to be the same time that Larson was stabbed. So that's the article that got me to look into that, and like I can see where it can be a little sus, but also from one of my readings was he was known to go there and
Oh, so
investigate it.
so he was a frequenter of the place.
Yeah,
The spirits finally wore
yeah.
him down and possessed him, and he stabbed himself.
I mean, that's one possibility. Another possibility is possibly
Hypothetically.
he was trying to get publicity for his investigations. But the thing of it is ever since this incident, he refuses to talk about it. He will not talk to anybody about what happened there.
Interesting.
So it's one of those, it can go one or two ways.
Right. He could be so committed to the bit, or it is actually something kind of fucked up happened. But I mean, like, him
Yeah.
stabbing himself for publicity is a little fucked up, but you know what I mean.
Dude ate somebody else's face in Florida. So, I mean, I don't put it past anybody for anything. And I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that it's a little sus.
Just a little bit.
But the creepy factor is the fact that he refuses to talk to anybody, and the fact that it happened at the same time as the family is suspected to be dead. Although I think it's kind of weird that they're saying 12:45 when the autopsy said it was shortly after midnight.
It could just be one of those things where whoever was writing it just put a random time, or there's this weird thing with the modern day where they'll just have AI write the whole article for them.
This was in November 19th of 2014.
Oh, so it wasn't even during a time when AI was good at it.
No, this was a human wrote it.
Like 2014, that's does Bruno Mars is gay era of AI.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallits articles.
But that basically concludes Blueberry's creepy corner.
Blueberry.
Creepy corner.
She's creepy. Watch out. She's in the corner. I had a funny thought while you were talking about just, I'm going to go to haunted places and stab myself and just have the reputation of going to haunted places and stabbing myself. Don't let that guy in.
Wait.
He's just gonna fucking stab himself. Like, it's not, he doesn't even make it seem fake. He just walks in with a knife and just like, yeah, I'm gonna stab myself.
Right? But like I said, also there could be more to that story that we don't know because he does refuse to talk about it, and part of why he refuses to talk about it could be the fact that social media got a hold of it and warped it, because 2014 was known for warping information.
Oh, social media has been doing that since its conception.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
so with that being said, I want to put a disclaimer. Neither one of us are mocking the dude because of the fact that there's so many different ways this could be going that
right. Not necessarily him,
we
just
can't form
the situation itself.
just Yeah, just the situation itself and the way it's depicted in social media.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I really hope that he's still okay today. Like he's doing okay and has recovered from that incident.
Right. And that maybe he has talked about it, but that would be something to dig into. As usual, I try to
Um,
get these out the weekend after, or the weekend of that they're recorded. So this is on the recorded on the 3rd, hopefully to get it out by the 10th. Oh, which also reminds me, like, we also want to do a D&D campaign at the start of the year or shortly after the start of next year. So start replacing some of the podcast recordings with that.
yeah.
So you gotta come up with the character. I think you have the concept of your character already.
Yeah, I have the concept of my character already, but I just gotta roll up the stats.
Right. And I haven't asked around for players yet, but I should get on that.
Yeah,
Start asking people around.
around. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about tonight?
I think we had a fairly good session tonight.
All right. Well, as always, everybody be awesome. Take your meds, hydrate, and we will catch you next week. Buckaboo Berry. Goodbye.
Bye.